Don't get fooled by teachers. What gives the speaker the right to make this remark, this comment? Because saying don't get fooled by teachers is a kind of teaching. You begin to understand that any verbal, whether it's a question, it may be a question about you, about the other, about the world, but it's a way of projecting our thought. It's a way of teaching. So the human race, the minute we verbalize through a language, through a need, a desire, a want, could be a good want, doesn't have to be a bad want, could be I want to help you so immensely that I'm going to tell you or share with you or show you or ask you something that may be relevant to your life. So, I mean, what's the point? What's the point of being here if we cannot communicate, if we cannot ask questions, if we cannot give information, if we cannot share, if we cannot make comments? What's the point, you see? So whatever the point is, this speaker will be reprimanded by so many minds for saying teaching is not the way forward. Teaching is not the way back. Teaching is not even the spiritual way to take you to the present moment. Teaching is not about consciousness. Teaching is not about religion. Teaching is not for religion, not for conscious awareness and spirituality and non-duality. You see, why would a speaker speak and say, beware of the teachers? Why? You see, what gives that speaker the right to say, teach or don't teach? Even if it's an advice, even if it's a guideline, you see? How can a speaker of enlightenment teach enlightenment when it doesn't know what enlightenment is? How can a teacher speak of God when it doesn't know what God is? So teaching is a speculation. Even in our productive, physical, real life, it's a speculation. If I take these bricks and build upwards and mix this with that, and through the atmosphere this and that hardens to create a kind of cement, this tower will go upwards as far as it physically can, or in an applied mechanics way, as far as it possibly can. But you don't know. You don't know if that building will stay upright, if that bricks will remain. So we practice a way of keeping ourselves warm, keeping ourselves dry, keeping ourselves fed. We practice. We don't teach, you see. The idea of being a soul community in a country with what you would call borders, so that you become segmented from the rest of the world is to live within your means. You see, many centuries ago, human beings did not want to live within their means. They wanted to rape and destroy and overpower and take over ownership of other countries. And we teach this to our children at school. History. We did this, the Spanish did this, the Americans did this, the Chinese did this, the Australians did this, the Africans did this, the Dutch did this. But it's okay. It's okay. But it's a teaching. It's a teaching to say it's okay. It's okay to rape and accept our forefathers because they died. They died for us. They died trying to take over another country. I mean, that's loyal, that's faithful, that's great. But this speaker is just not up with the way of teaching, you see. So you deny teaching because you're not capable of teaching. And you're not capable of teaching because the identification of the teacher is not true. You see, whoever I am, whatever I am, cannot teach because it knows nothing about what it is. Therefore, what can teach outward when it doesn't know what is inward? It makes sense. I cannot tell the world about another human being until I know I am a human being. Until I register, sign a form with myself to say, yes, who am I? An answer comes from the brain, the mind. Yes, you're Graham, you're a form. Who says? Don't ask questions. I'm not teaching. But you are. You're telling me what I am. Teaching is to inform any other through a mental, psychological, constructed, ideological way. I know who you are. I know what you are. So therefore I'm teaching you what you are, who you are. And you say, I already know that. So you're teaching yourself. Teaching is the very act of communication, the very act of information, the very act of the thoughtful mind, trying to make sense of the world, trying to make sense of who I am, trying to make sense of what is going on, questioning, wondering, the wandering mind. See, you cannot say the mind is defunct to another human being because the mind may be of some value. So how can I form a class? I want to be a teacher. How can I form a class? Then I have to get people in that's going to listen to me. Whether they accept the class or not, doesn't matter. I want them to listen. I want them to take action on their life. Why? Because there's something wrong with my life. Even the greatest enlightened sage, the Song of the Avadut, leaves us with poetry to the most intricate. Even Jesus leaves us with, forgive them. You see? Jesus is even teaching God, forgive them. Why did thou leave me in my moment of suffering? Where were you, Father? It's a teaching. Answer me. Talk to me. Tell me. The teacher in school tells you, I have a question. Give me the answer. No one gives the answer. You've all failed miserably with life, with the class. So what is this? What is talking now? Is much more worthy. So if you're going to teach yourself. If you're going to know yourself, discover yourself. You see, you have no rights like this speaker has no rights to tell another how to go about awakening, how to go about enlightenment, how to be a great painter, how to be a great father, how to be successful, how to be a failure, because it's all forms of teaching. It's all forms of judgment, all forms of measurement, all forms of valuation. Even the biblical, even the religious, even the priest teaches. I teach you the Bible. Have you read this script, this book? No? Why not? If you read the script, read the book, you'll know much more about yourself. So why not ask yourself directly? Why not confront yourself directly? What is outside of you that can affect others? Your mind. Nothing wrong with mind. Nothing wrong with ego. Nothing wrong with religion, science. But what is your position about you in a world that is here for you? It's not ego, it's not selfish, it's not narcissistical, it's not empathetical. It is an investigation within you. That investigation within you is not teaching, it's actually learning, listening. Not to a teacher within, just to that what you are. You're here alone. Not alone in the form of human species, bodies, blood, bone, trees. No, this experience is to test you to see how much you have learned about your life before. We keep coming back. And we keep coming back to say, I've learned so much with my life before, I must teach you. Even the Krishnamurtis teach us. Even the speaker now is teaching you to not listen to the teachers, including this one. There's no teacher, there's only you. Only I. Not the universal I, that's something you'll never know. A few will mistake, stumble upon it, and not benefit, because it'll turn into a teaching, you see. When the voice spoke, it sounded blissful, overwhelming, beyond life, beyond mind, beyond reality, beyond truth. So the joy and the bliss of hearing this voice could not be superseded. It is the most beautiful experience. But in the words of the voice is saying, stop teaching, stop trying, stop searching, stop doing what your mind, stop fighting with your mind, stop fighting with your body, stop fighting with souls and spirituality and religion and science, stop participating, just be your goddamn self. And then it takes away that beauty and it leaves you empty with another opportunity to become something. But I'll never become a teacher. If you think this is a teaching, unsubscribe or delete or unlike. No point in teaching. No point in verbalizing. No point in communicating unless it's for a human need. Who is the teacher? You see, who is the teacher? What teaches? Who is being taught? Who is listening? Who is speaking? That's the questions you ask yourself. Only yourself will give the answer. No teacher, no YouTube, no social media, no book, no Bible, no nothing. Only the answer is within myself. But I have to discover who I am before I can ask myself the question, the damned question that stops me from being true to truth.